Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm so glad you're here with me today. In this episode, we're diving into a very important topic: how to speak English without pausing too much. If you've ever struggled with hesitation while speaking, don't worry, you're not alone. Many English learners face this challenge. They often pause frequently, searching for the right words or translating from their native language, which makes their speech sound unnatural. But don't worry, by the end of this episode, I'll give you practical tips and exercises to help you speak more smoothly and confidently in English. Let's start by understanding why this happens in the first place. There are four main reasons why people pause when speaking English. First, lack of confidence. When you're unsure of your English skills, it's natural to hesitate. You start second-guessing yourself. Is this the right word? Am I saying this correctly? And by the time you try to speak, the conversation has already moved on. Second, vocabulary gaps. When you don't know the word you need, you stop mid-sentence to find it. That makes your speech feel choppy and disconnected. Third, overthinking and translating. A lot of learners mentally translate from their native language before speaking in English. But English and other languages have different structures, so that back and forth slows you down. And fourth, nervousness and pressure. Especially when speaking to native speakers, many learners freeze. Their minds go blank, even if they actually know the words. Let me summarize. The biggest reasons for pausing are lack of confidence, limited vocabulary, overthinking, and nervousness. But now that we know the problem, let's focus on the solution. Techniques to reduce pauses. So how can you reduce pauses and speak more fluently? Tip 1. Think in English. This one is huge. If you're always translating in your head, your brain is doing twice the work. Instead, start thinking directly in English. For example, if you're walking down the street, think to yourself, "The sun is shining. I see a man walking his dog. The air feels nice." This simple practice trains your brain to process thoughts naturally in English. Tip 2. Use filler words. Now, this might surprise you, but using filler words like well, you know, actually, I mean, or so is totally okay. Native speakers use them all the time. These give your brain a second to catch up without creating an awkward silence. So instead of pausing, say something like, "Well, I think that's a great idea." Or, "You know, I really enjoyed that movie." Tip 3. Try shadowing. Shadowing is an amazing fluency exercise. It means listening to a native speaker and repeating what they say immediately, like an echo. You can do this with podcasts, YouTube videos, or audiobooks. It forces you to speak quickly and smoothly, helping your brain form English sentences automatically. Tip 4. Don't aim for perfection. Many learners pause because they're afraid of making mistakes. But fluency isn't about being perfect. It's about keeping the flow. If you forget a word, explain it another way. For example, if you forget the word refrigerator, you can say, "the machine that keeps food cold." That's still clear communication. To recap, here are 4 powerful techniques to reduce pauses. Think in English. Use filler words. Practice shadowing. Focus on communication, not perfection. Training your brain for faster speech. Now let's take things a bit deeper. How do you train your brain to think and respond faster in English? Step 1 is to expand your vocabulary and sentence patterns. If you don't have enough words or phrases in your mental toolkit, your brain will slow down when you speak. But instead of just memorizing individual words, learn whole phrases. For example, learn in my opinion instead of just the word opinion. This way, when it's time to express an idea, the full phrase comes out automatically. Another technique is active listening. The more you listen to natural English, podcasts, shows, audiobooks, the better your brain will get at processing it. Try to predict what the speaker will say next, or mimic their tone and structure. This sharpens your listening skills and helps with fluency. I love this part. Here's a fun exercise for you. Conversation anticipation. When you're listening to someone speak, try to guess their next word or phrase before they finish the sentence. This trains your brain to think ahead and respond quickly. Another powerful technique is imitating native speakers. Pick someone you enjoy listening to, maybe from a TV show or podcast, and try copying their way of speaking. Focus on their speed, rhythm, and pronunciation. Imitation is actually one of the fastest ways to train your brain. The more you listen to natural English, the faster your brain will process and produce it. So, to sum up, here are 4 ways to train your brain for faster speech. Learn phrases instead of single words. Listen actively and predict what's coming next. Practice conversation anticipation. Imitate native speakers to improve speed and fluency. Great tips, right? Now that we've trained our brains, let's move on to some practical exercises to help you speak more fluently. Practical exercises for fluency. All right, now let's talk about exercises that actually improve fluency. The first one is the 1-minute speaking challenge. Pick a topic, any topic, and talk about it for a full minute without stopping. Even if you make mistakes, just keep going. You can start with something simple like my daily routine or my favorite food. And if a full minute feels too hard, try 30 seconds and build from there. Another great practice is story retelling. Listen to a short story, podcast, or movie clip. Then try to retell it in your own words. This helps with both fluency and vocabulary recall. Here's one more. Speed conversation practice. Set a timer for 2 minutes and talk fast, either with a friend or even with yourself in the mirror. The goal is to respond quickly without overthinking. And if you don't have a speaking partner, try using speech-to-text apps. Speak into your phone and see how well it transcribes your words. It's a great way to check both fluency and pronunciation. Let's quickly summarize the top exercises. 1-minute speaking challenge, story retelling, speed conversation practice. Use speech-to-text apps for feedback. These will all help you speak faster and more naturally. But now, let's shift gears and talk about mindset, because confidence plays a huge role in fluency. Mindset shifts for confidence. Fluency isn't just about techniques, it's also about how you think. Here's the first mindset shift. Mistakes are part of learning. Many people freeze or pause because they're scared to say something wrong. But mistakes help you improve. Even native speakers make mistakes. So instead of thinking, what if I mess up? Try thinking, every mistake helps me grow. Next, focus on communication, not perfection. Your goal is to express yourself, not to sound like a textbook. If people understand you, that's already a win. And finally, speak with confidence, even when you're unsure. If you hesitate or doubt yourself, others will notice. But if you speak with energy and a smile, they'll focus on your message, not your mistakes. So to build your confidence, accept that mistakes help you improve. Focus on communication, not perfection. Speak with energy and confidence. Now let's wrap everything up and give you a simple action plan. Wow, we covered a lot today. Let's recap. Why do people pause while speaking? Usually because of a lack of vocabulary, overthinking, or nervousness. But we've talked about powerful ways to reduce pauses, like using common phrases, slowing down, and using fillers naturally. We also explored how to train your brain for faster speech by listening actively, predicting conversations, and imitating native speakers. Then we discussed practical exercises like the 1-minute speaking challenge, story retelling, and speed conversations to improve fluency. And finally, we looked at mindset shifts like accepting mistakes, focusing on communication, and speaking confidently. Here's your challenge. Pick just one technique or exercise from today and practice it this week. Remember, the more you practice, the more fluent you'll become. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on speaking English confidently. Leave a comment and let me know. What's your biggest challenge when speaking English? Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.